Hi, Edith Kerneman from Breastfeeding Inc. I wanted to talk to you very specifically today because I've been hearing so much lately from moms and dads and parents who are really very, very concerned about babies and where they're sleeping, how they're sleeping, and whether or not they're sleeping. Here's the challenge. You know, if parents take a look at babies and they take a look at the fact that babies are new in this world, babies have just come here, they haven't adjusted to our lifestyle. I tell parents all the time, look, babies are inconvenient, get over it. It's just how it's going to be. If we treat them as something that makes an inconvenience in our lives, then yeah, they're going to continue to be an inconvenience. It's going to be bothersome. It's going to feel like, oh, is my life ever going to get better? Are things ever going to get better? Am I ever going to get any sleep? And it'll feel like, no, we'll never get that sleep. If we look at it a little differently, babies are born into this world very dependent, incredibly dependent. They're competent, but they're competent within a safe, protective environment. That protected environment and protective environment is skin to skin with the mother. If not the mother, then any other parent, any other very, very close relative, but for the most part, the parent. So skin to skin with the mother helps regulate baby's heart rate, breathing rate, oxygen saturation, body temperature, blood sugar, the list goes on. It's critically important that babies stay skin to skin with their mothers as much as possible. In absence of their moms, there's no question the other mom, the other dad, whoever the other parent is, needs to have skin-to-skin time with that baby every day as well. It's going to regulate hormones for the two of them. It's going to increase that bonding. But here's also what happens. There's an exchange of sensory information that happens between the mother and the baby, or the parent and the baby. And that exchange of sensory information, especially with the mother, is going to help that mother not only with her milk supply, not only with giving directions in her milk that are going to go to baby, believe it or not, but at the same time, they're going to help inform baby's neurobiology, how baby's neural brain develops. So whether a baby has neural pathways in the brain and how they are formed is very much dependent on whether baby has been skin to skin with the mother. So let's jump here. How does that have anything to do with sleep? Well, the challenge is if baby is not sleeping with mother, and baby is away from mother, even 1 meter away. So for you Americans, that's 3 feet, 3 inches. If baby's even that far away, baby experiences that and perceives that as separation. Separation causes stress in the baby's brain. So we have cortisol that starts to increase. Now here's the challenge. You might say, wow, my baby's not really showing signs of stress. Well, crying can be a sign of stress. But cortisol definitely is. And when we start to measure cortisol, we see that there's no real correlation between cortisol levels and the amount of crying. So you could have a baby who's very, very, very stressed. Cortisol levels aren't that high. I'm crying a lot. Baby's very, very stressed. Cortisol levels are high, but the baby's not crying that much. You could also have a baby who's crying lots, and the cortisol levels aren't that high, so it's not a very good measurement. What we do know is that babies that are separated from the parents tend to get stressed. And so the challenge is, how does that affect baby overall? Well, we see long-term effects, we see short-term effects, we see medium-term effects. I definitely address this in some of my courses, and I have a course for parenting that I've just started, Parenting 101. I'm really excited to launch in the next few weeks, and hope you'll look out for it. But really what I wanted to point out, and I wanted you to note, is that we're starting to see some correlation between crying, which we also sometimes identify excessive crying as colic, but we see crying, we see how babies feed, we see how babies sleep. We're starting to see the relationship and whether there is a relationship with SIDS, so sudden infant death syndrome. Now, that's not to say that if we're not skin to skin with our babies and if we don't sleep with our babies, that our babies are going to die. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I am suggesting is that breastfeeding and sleeping with our babies safely is protective against SIDS and is critically important for baby's behavior, for baby's neural behavior, neurodevelopment, and for baby's overall growth. And we know that we see excellent outcomes for babies who have been skin to skin, who've known that their parents are going to be there to pick them up, to come to them when they cry. We know we see those relationships have great outcomes later on in baby's life. So all of that's a lot of information put together, but it just goes to say and goes to show you that the more we keep babies skin to skin with the mother, the more we keep babies skin to skin with the parent, the more we keep babies sleeping with us and close to us in close proximity, so within arm's reach, the better outcomes we're going to have for baby later on, but also better relationships we're going to have with our baby. And there's lots of research to support that. So do your best. I'll give you some more information in my course. Do your best to keep baby skin to skin as much as possible and hang in there. I know it's a rough go, but I'll tell you, after a while you'll wonder, hey, I can't believe this kid grew up and they're no longer sleeping with me. Take care.